Welcome to Healthy Vibes with United Tribes, a podcast where we discuss your spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical health. I'm your host today, Gayla Sherman, Director of Health and Wellness at United Tribes Technical College. Today's guest is Sheri Becker, Nutrition Educator at UTTC. Welcome, Sheri. Can you share a little bit about yourself with us and then tell us a little bit about what brought you to UTTC and how long you've been here?
Yeah, I'd love to. So I received my bachelor's degree in nutrition and food science from Colorado State University in Fort Collins. And after living in Austin, Texas for a couple of years, I decided it was time to move back home to Bismarck to be closer to my family and just closer to home. So I've actually started in financial aid at United Tribes and was a great career there. But when I learned that the land grant department was looking for a nutritionist, I transferred over to the land grant department to be their nutrition extension educator because it lines up pretty closely with my education background. And I've been here for a little over 2 years now.
Sheri, can you tell us what some of the common misconceptions are about nutrition?
Oh, yeah, there's so many. I think we could fill a whole series of podcasts with them. But something that I'm seeing a lot of in today's media and today's grocery stores and social media posts are people that are trying to eliminate macronutrients from their diet. And the macronutrients are fat, protein, and carbohydrates. And if you've paid attention to any social media diet crazes or popular posts, they're talking about low carbohydrate or eliminating carbohydrates from the diet, when really carbohydrates are the only source of fuel for a lot of organs in our bodies, and we need carbohydrates. It's essential to get a good balanced diet with all three of those macronutrients in them. The fad diets that have you eliminating certain food groups or types of food, those are usually really unsuccessful for the people that take them or try to follow them because they're not sustainable. It's not sustainable to only eat kale and mushrooms for the rest of your life. So people then will get off of the diet. Usually they start to feel like a failure, and then they go back even more so into their old eating ways, which were unhealthy to start with. They end up gaining all of the weight back that they may have lost in the initial part of the diet. It's just a good idea to stay away from any kind of diet that wants to claim that you can melt your fat off in weeks or anything like that. Fat loss can happen really rapidly when you're on those diets, but it's a lot of water loss. You're losing a lot of water weight in the initial few days. The best way, if you're thinking of losing weight, is to get a wide variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins in the diet.
Tell us the connection between nutrition and having a healthy mind, having a healthy body, and having a healthy spirit.
So it's been studied a lot more recently that the gut microbiome has a pretty large impact on a lot of things in our life. The bacteria in our gut, or the gut microbiome, they can influence our attentiveness, they can influence our memory, and even just our overall our mood. So having a healthy gut microbiome can give you a better mood and make you more attentive, increase your memory span. You might be wondering, how do I get a healthy gut microbiome? And the gut microbiome, the bacteria that live in your gut, they really love when you feed them fruits and vegetables and whole grains. They thrive off of those kinds of foods. You can also give them Greek yogurt or fermented foods because they have probiotics in them that really fuel your microbiome. It's also been recently researched the effects of exercise on your microbiome, and they've found that increasing your daily physical activity will increase the number of bacteria in your gut that are the health-promoting bacteria, and can help increase the diversity in your gut bacteria. So you get more vitamins being produced, more fatty acids, and more nutrients being produced by those little guys in your gut. It's all connected.
Very interesting. Can you also share, in looking at Indigenous food practices, nutrition practices, cooking practices over the centuries, but what can we learn from that?
Well, I think very simply we can learn the basic idea that we are all connected. We come from Mother Earth, we are connected through Mother Earth, and our food comes from Mother Earth. Right now, if we think about the unhealthy and the processed and the packaged foods that are in so many people's diets, those foods come in packaging that's usually plastic, and we know plastic doesn't go anywhere ever. Plastic doesn't go away. So that's really unhealthy for Mother Earth, for the planet, for our future generations. And those highly processed foods are full of ingredients that probably aren't very healthy for us either. I think what we can really learn from our traditions is to eat more whole foods, to vary our diets with what's currently in season, and create very little food waste, and remember that we're all connected and we're all part of the same planet, and we should be doing our best to live healthy lives and leave a healthy earth for our future generations.
So then give us some everyday tips that we can try to remember on how we can eat better and make better nutrition choices, and then hopefully we become healthier. But some simple everyday tips.
Sure. I think probably the simplest one comes from what I was talking about earlier when I said that the foods in the grocery store, they're marketed to us. There are people paid a lot of money to make that food look good or to look healthy, even if it's not healthy. So the number one tip I can give you is to check the back of the food package and read the nutrition label. Read the ingredient list. On the nutrition label, what you're looking for is anything with added sugar, anything with saturated fat, or anything with a lot of sodium. A general rule of thumb for the most people without underlying conditions, health conditions, we should not be getting any more than 10% of our daily calories from saturated fat, and we shouldn't get any more than 10% of calories from added sugar. We should also try to limit our sodium intake to 2,300 milligrams per day or less. For anybody that has a heart condition, that would be 1,800 milligrams of sodium per day or less. Check the ingredient list and make sure that you don't have foods that have more than 5 ingredients in them. Those are generally going to be the less processed kind of foods to eat. And don't get too hung up if some of the foods that you really enjoy eating or that you normally eat don't fall into the healthy category, because now that you're aware of, maybe that food has a lot of added sugar, or there's a lot of ingredients in this snack. I would never tell you to not eat something that you really enjoy eating. Instead, maybe you could try to shift to, instead of eating it once a day or once a week, eat it less frequently or eat smaller portions of it. So still enjoy the foods that you enjoy. Just do it mindfully so that you're still able to, maybe you can add, so that you're still able to get a balanced diet and have plenty of whole fruits and vegetables, whole wheat bread or whole grains, and have a healthful life that way. Changes are difficult though. So to achieve lifelong health, it's really important to start making those small changes now that will give you the big result later on. I want to challenge all of our listeners or viewers to make one small change today that you can build from and build off of. Maybe it's every week you make it a little bit bigger of a goal, but make those goals attainable and focus on one small goal each week that is attainable, and you might be surprised at the difference in your life that you see in a year from now.
Thank you so much today, Sheri, for sharing your knowledge with us. We could probably talk all afternoon, so thank you. Thank you for listening to today's episodes of Healthy Vibes with United Tribes. Please like and subscribe for more interviews and content, or connect with us online at uttc.edu. Thank you for joining us, and remember to prioritize your health and wellness every day.